This would happen to me repeatedly when I would play out with some of my favorite jazz musicians. The singer, the person who was leading the band, would call a tune and say the key, the feel, the tempo, the introduction. On occasion, before the count off, somebody would say, "Hey, which version? The insert famous jazz artist recording from 1958 or the insert other artist recording from 1972?" And I would say, a little bit flippantly, "We're doing this version from tonight, from 2016 or whenever it was," and brush it off. But deep down, I was secretly thinking I was less of a musician, insecure, more of a hack, less qualified to be calling the shots at a gig than these guys who obviously had a better understanding of the genre than I did. I felt ashamed to not know every single version of the song that I was calling on the stand. Who had written it and when? Who had recorded it? Who had arranged it and what key was it originally in? I just knew that I liked something about the song and I had taken the time to learn it, make a chart or an arrangement of it, and to put my stamp on it and to share something new with my audience. This is not to say that one shouldn't have a sense of history and where art comes from. It is useful and important to know your roots, know your history, know your references. And it's fun to pick up musical quotes and trivia and Easter eggs hidden in derivative works, right? It makes you feel like you're part of a club. But sometimes that insider attitude can quickly turn into one of, "I know more than my audience." That disdain for your patrons makes you feel more alone, more separate. It's a superiority that separates. And this doesn't just apply to jazz music, okay? When I played in orchestras, I was ashamed of not being able to sing or identify every single theme or transition from any given symphony, any given composer. And when I was out with my Muggle friends, that's what we musicians call non-musicians, I would head bob along to all the top 40 songs on the radio, even though I was way out of the Billboard loop after I graduated college. And as I started to think about this situation, it goes even further than music. It applies to movie references, pop culture, or book references that other people mentioned to me. I would catch myself smiling and nodding, pretending that I knew what they were talking about. And I would feel overwhelmed with not being able to quote Shakespeare or know what the central theme of Love in a Time of Cholera is. Has anyone actually read that? People would say, "You have to listen to this," or "I can't believe you don't know this genre," or "I can't believe you haven't seen this movie," or would reference books that I hadn't even heard of or ones that I didn't want to consume at all because I just had no interest in them. All the while, I was consuming my own personal playlist of favorites. I would even hide. I was secretly nerding out on both conventional things and quirky niche genres, but too abashed to tell anyone what my all-time favorites were. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't be watching and listening and reading new things that other people recommend, expanding your horizons, reading the classics, and listening to what your friends listen to so you can have something in common to discuss. But one day I just got tired of the feeling that I was hiding or ashamed for not having the same literary or musical perspective as everyone else. I realized I have my own autobiographical playlist. Shout out to Nick Hornby's High Fidelity. Because what was wrong with my perspective? What are my top 5 songs and books and movies and shows that have really resonated and shaped me? It was only once that I realized that my personal playlist and influences are as different from another's as our entire lives, our every experience. We don't want to be exactly the same or have the same tastes. Share, but don't shame. And at the same time, don't feel the need to hide what you like. Don't let anyone make you feel embarrassed of your influences, and don't shame someone else for not liking or not even knowing the things that you do. Does that mean that I don't still catch myself saying, "I can't believe you've never heard of so and so's album," and that I won't still judge you for your opinions? Just a little. But I also know that it's my bias talking and that your opinion is as valid as mine because we're just trying to be better, not perfect, right? And as a side note, if you don't think that John Mayer's 2007 Where the Light Is live in Los Angeles recording isn't the best live performance from this century, I can't be your friend. I'm just saying.